So the first differential player on our list is Cesar Azpilicueta. The Chelsea captain is the most reliable asset in the Blues defense. Azpilicueta is priced at 6.0 million. He's owned by only 3.4% of managers. He managed to keep 13 clean sheets last season, scoring once and assisting twice. His points per match ratio is 4.3. He'll be coming up against Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa and Tottenham. A lot of managers have looked at Chelsea's fixtures at the start of the season and ignored their defenders, but the devil is in the details. It is in these games where Thomas Tuchel's side were at their best defensively. Chelsea's goals conceded against some of the big teams in all competition last season under Tuchel is presented in the table above. To put things in perspective, the Blues conceded only 3 goals from 11 matches, and not just against the big teams. Chelsea's defensive record under their manager in the league is very good too. The West London side conceded fewer goals, conceded fewer big chances, and also kept more clean sheets than any other team. Among all the defenders from Chelsea, Azpilicueta is the safest option to choose from, as he is guaranteed to play the vast majority of the games. Azpilicueta has played significantly more minutes than anyone else under Thomas Tuchel, as you can see from the graph above. Despite not getting a lot of attacking returns, the Chelsea captain was the third highest point scorer among defenders from FPL Game Week 20 to FPL Game Week 33. This is because of his ability to pick up bonus points. Only Alexander Arnold at 22 amassed more bonus points in that time than Azpilicueta at 11. So the second player on our list is Leeds winger Jack Harrison. Jack is priced at 6.0 million. He's owned by only 5.6% of managers. He managed to create 67 chances last season, scoring 8 and assisting 10 times. His points per match ratio is 4.44. He'll be coming up against Man United, Everton, Burnley, Liverpool and Newcastle. Harrison could be an astute alternative to Rafinha. One of the constant debates last season in the FPL community as the season went on was to choose between Rafinha and Jack Harrison. The former ended the season with 133 points and the latter with 160. It is to be noted that Harrison played more minutes, that is 2,846, than his compatriot 2,358. Rafinha's ownership in FPL this season as of now is 23.4%, which is significantly more than that of the Englishman. Isn't this disparity really warranted? Let's just take a look at the sum of the data. Comparison between Rafinha and Harrison from FPL Game Week 9 onwards is shown in the graph above. As we can see, there isn't much to choose between the two, but we as managers tend to get trapped into the eye test too much. Rafinha is clearly more pleasing on the eye, while Harrison just goes on about his business without making much fuss. Of all the players in the differential block, Harrison is the most important one to consider for FPL managers. The reason we say this is at some point all of us are going to be in a situation where we have to save that extra 0.5 million. This is where the managers who have Rafinha in their team can replace him with Harrison without any hesitation. So let me just say this, an informed Raheem Sterling can be a lethal option. Raheem Sterling is priced at 11.0 million, he is owned by only 3.2% of managers. He managed to score 10 goals last season and assisted 9 times. He created 46 chances and his points per match ratio is 4.9. He'll be coming up against Tottenham, Norwich, Arsenal, Leicester and Southampton. Raheem Sterling had a pretty ordinary 2020-21 season, or so we believe it anyways. Despite being on the fringes of the first team for quite some time in the season, Sterling at 154 finished as the third highest point scorer for Manchester City, only behind Gundogan and Ederson. Furthermore, he did finish in the top 10 among midfielders in the FPL. So here are the 3 reasons why Sterling is a strong differential in FPL this season. First, Pep Guardiola still trusts him. Despite all the suggestions that Sterling had become out of favor last season, Pep Guardiola started him in the Champions League final, in what was essentially the biggest game in the history of the club. This leads us to the second factor. Second, back to form. For anyone that watched the Euros, you would have witnessed the very best of Raheem Sterling once again, albeit in different colours. The Englishman was arguably their player of the tournament. He registered 3 goals and 2 assists in all. We have seen plenty of times in the past that players translate international form directly at their club level. And here's the third, he is an explosive FPL player. One of the reasons why a lot of FPL managers used to prefer Sterling over KDB is because of that potential big haul in his locker. Let us examine some of the data from the last 3 seasons of some of the big hitters. Comparison between big players in the last 3 seasons combined is shown in the graph above. As we can see from the above data, Sterling, despite having one average season, is nearly on par with the likes of Kane and Salah. This thing about Manchester City man is when he's hot, he gives FPL managers points aplenty, and it is imperative to understand exactly when that time is. As of for this season, we believe that his scoring spree may well come from the very beginning of this season. Here's a pro tip. Now on viewing the above data, managers would find that KDB has the best record. However, he's someone who keeps taking over and doesn't always come up with the massive hauls. Sterling therefore is more enterprising option, especially when he's in the good mood. Next player on our list is Burnley striker Chris Wood. Wood will once keep ticking over. However, managers must ensure they don't miss out. His price at 7.0 million is owned by only 2.8% of managers. He managed to score 12 goals last season, assisting 3 times. His shots on target was 70%. His PPM was 4.18. He'll be coming up against Brighton, Liverpool, Leeds, Everton and Arsenal. Only 3 players got more points than Chris Wood at 63 between game week 28 and end of the season. Pereira, Iheanacho and Trent. In this time, the New Zealander scored 7 goals for his club. In all through the course of the last season, Wood had 26 big chances. Only Vardy, Salah, Bamford, DCL, Kane and Mane had more. Furthermore, the Burnley striker had XGI of 51%. Only Kane 53 boasts a better tally. As we stated frequently last campaign in our differential, Wood is a streak player. The Clarets fixture in the first half of the season are eventually spread out, as a result of which Wood can be the third forward in our teams up and until the FPL game week 18. At no point do Burnley have a tough run of fixtures in the first half of the season, as you can see from the picture above. Here's a pro tip. Chris Wood is priced 0.5 million lesser than the likes of Watkins and Antonio. And if indeed managers get themselves in that dreaded situation of saving 0.5 million, then Chris Wood is the best enabler. Next up is Kieran Tierney. He's priced at 5.0 million. He's owned by 8.5% of managers. He's managed to keep 8 clean sheets last season, scoring once and assisting 4 times. His points per match ratio is 3.5. He'll be coming up against Brentford, Chelsea, Manchester City, Norwich and Burnley. Tierney could do a show this season by finally fulfilling his potential. Kieran Tierney has been a player who has been 0.5 million more costlier than what we would have liked him to be. However, this season the Arsenal left back is priced perfectly to be part of our teams. One of the reasons why an Arsenal defender can be valuable in our teams is because of their defensive record. Tabographic Arsenal's numbers and rank is essential defensive parameters. As we can see, the Gunners had one of the best defenses in the league last season. With the addition of Ben White to their arsenal, Arteta's men are going to be even more stronger. Another key factor in Arsenal's potentially having a good season is their lack of European football. This essentially reduces the risk of Kieran Tierney suffering from injuries this season. The Arsenal left back registered a goal and 4 assists last season, quite less for a player of his caliber. However, for a aforementioned Tierney is also to have a breakthrough season in FPL this time around. So next up is Newcastle striker Callum Wilson. Wilson can be a good option as a third forward. He's priced at 10.5 million. His TSB is 4.9%. He managed to score 12 goals last season, assisting 6 times. He scored 4 goals on penalties. His points per match ratio is 5.15. He will be coming up against West Ham United, Aston Villa, Southampton, Man United and Leeds. Despite missing a third of 2020-2021 season, Callum Wilson got 18 attacking returns in FPL. The Newcastle man also got 22 bonus points, the 4th best tally among forwards, 7th best overall. Steve Bruce's men have a very good run of fixtures up until game week 15. It is in these kind of fixtures that Wilson and indeed Newcastle tend to do well. Newcastle don't have a run of difficult games until game week 16, as you can see from the picture above. Callum Wilson is Newcastle's talisman. He is the one on the end of the most of the chances they create. He takes penalties. To put it in numbers, the striker had 21 big chances last season, the 11th best tally in the entire league. Most importantly, the Magpies are a team that do not tend to score a lot of goals, neither do they keep a lot of clean sheets. Hence why Wilson gets a lot of bonus points. Mahrez is all set to get off a flyer, and he's our next differential player choice. Mahrez is priced at 9.0 million. He managed to score 9 goals and 8 assists last season. He created 50 chances. He's owned by only 5.6% of managers. His points per match ratio was 5.3. He'll be coming up against Tottenham, Norwich, Arsenal, Leicester and Southampton. Mahrez was the 13th highest point scorer amongst midfielders in the previous campaign. The Algerian had 17 attacking returns last season. However, he played just 1,945 minutes, which is significantly fewer than all the other successful players in that position. Here's the minutes per point data for the top midfielders last season. As we can see from the above data, Mahrez minutes per point is on par with the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Mohamed Salah. This clearly indicates how explosive he can be. The caveat though is Pep Rolliet. So why Riyad Mahrez is a certain to be a starter in the opening game weeks of the season. First things first, Mahrez, unlike most other Man City players, has had a full pre-season. On top of that, the likes of Foden and Sterling may not feature in the first game of the season. Not just that, Mahrez established himself as one of the key players in the team last season. He started almost all the City's big matches in the second half of the season. But most importantly, he might be the designated penalty taker for the champions at the start of the season. As we said about Sterling earlier, the key is to identify the right time to invest in these explosive Man City assets. The start of the season may well be the perfect time to invest in Mahrez. Harvey Barnes will look to continue from where he left off. Barnes is priced at 7.0 million. He managed to score 9 goals and 5 assists last season. His key passes were 26. His points per match ratio was 5.04. He'll be coming up against Wolves, West Ham United, Norwich, Manchester City and Brighton. Harvey Barnes is our last differential pick for the start of the season. The Leicester City man who was in the red hot form before picking up an injury in game week 26. Only Gundogan Bruno scored more points than Barnes between game week 15 and game week 25. 10 of his 14 attacking returns came during this period. Barnes has returned to full fitness in pre-season. He even managed 45 minutes in the latest friendly against QPR. Barnes is one of those players who is very direct and likes to get himself in goal scoring positions. One of the things managers have to keep in mind is the formation in which Brendan Rodgers plays. Harvey Barnes' form coincided with him playing on the left wing in a 4-2-3-1 formation. So one has to look out for what the Leicester City manager says in the pre-match before the first game. Here's a pro tip. If there is any hint that Leicester will play with a back 3, then it is best to avoid Barnes. If there is no hint, then it is safer to wait for a week and transfer him in if a manager plays in the preferred formation. So that's it guys for today. Do let me know what you guys think of these potential differential assets in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for timely notification. And also do follow us on Instagram where we post daily FPL updates. And also take a look at our first FPL draft and our top 5 series videos where we have talked about the top 5 premium, mid-budget and low-budget defenders. And see you in the next one. Good luck.